Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Rachel Chase, and today I'm going to lead us through a creative process. I am so grateful to be an arts and wellness ambassador for the Atlantic Center for the Arts and to have been leading workshops and mini retreats and classes and be a retreat facilitator at the Atlantic Center for the Arts as well for few years, several years. And let's see, it's 2021 now, right? Boy, this goes right along with the title of this workshop, which has to do with creativity and transitions and connecting with your muse. So I'm going to talk about some of these concepts first and then take us through some relaxation practices. I've got my yoga mat out. You might want to get your space set so that you can have a place to relax and get out your art supplies, your journal, maybe some tea or some water. And I've chosen to use some pens and pencils and some watercolor paints. I've actually got my supplies down there on the floor because we'll be transitioning back and forth between sitting and being on the ground, but you're welcome to use your desk or sit at a table. You don't necessarily have to lie down, but if you feel called to, I am going to guide us through a little bit of just letting go today so that we can connect within. And by connecting within, we get to invite the muse or invite the inspiration from within ourselves. I also have a book with us today. So in all my years of teaching art and yoga and sharing different creative wellness practices with many communities, one of the tools that I've found that's really one of my very favorite is The Artist's Way, which is a body of work from Julia Cameron. And this is her third book in the trilogy of her Artist Way journey called Finding Water. And I thought I'd share that with you today. The subtitle is The Art of Perseverance. And since we're talking about transitions today, and the nature of life is to change, right? We are in a time of great change, obviously. The world is sort of happening in this way where a lot is unknown. This is life, the great unknown, right? And so sometimes it helps to have some tools and some practices to use to help us get through those transitions in life, to get through the changes, to navigate the process of life. And from the perspective of an artist, using our creativity, right? Using our creative selves is paramount to express ourselves. We need that in order to feel okay in life, don't we? Creative people need to create in whatever way that may show up in our lives. And sometimes it doesn't show up in ways that we had thought we wanted it to, right? I mean, have you ever had a project idea and you thought, okay, I'm going to get this project going, I'm going to finish it, and it's going to be beautiful, and life happens, and detours take place, and you just can't quite get to it. But at least you can get to something that fuels your passion, that fuels your creative self. And that's what we're talking about today. That's what I love to do, is to share and hold space for simply the process of creating, the process. And really, in terms of an outcome, we kind of just let go of that. We let go of the need to have a certain idea in mind before creating of what it is exactly we're going to create. So today is about strengthening our creative wellness by connecting with our inner inspiration. And we can call that the muse, right? You've heard that term of this idea of an aspect of our inner selves that is whispering in our ear, that is offering solutions, that is bringing in new ideas, fresh inspiration. I'm going to read just a little bit from Julia Cameron's book just to bring in some of the insights and inspiration for us today and hear what she has to say about this subject. So there's a couple of quotes actually I thought were really neat that she put in her book here. And if you need to get some more supplies, you can listen while I read a little bit, while you gather some things if you don't have everything on hand just yet. But here's a quote that she put in that I thought was really neat. Now, Julia Cameron is a writer, and she helps creative people break through blocks in their creativity and keep on the creative path and find fresh inspiration. So here's this quote that she put in her book. And the quote is from D.H. Lawrence, the author. He said, "I never know when I sit down just what I am going to write. I make no plan. It just comes, and I don't know where it comes from." So that's the feeling that we're moving into here today, to allow for the connection with our inner muse or our inspiration or higher power or spirit, whatever you personally want to call it. In fact, Julia Cameron talks a little bit about that too. She talks in the prologue about I'm going to quote her here, "As we work to become more of the all that we can be, we come into contact with a benevolent guiding force. Some of us will call that force God. Others will call it the universe, the higher power, spirit, the Tao, the force, or even the muse. It does not matter what we call it. What does matter is that we experience it, and we will." So I thought that was a nice addition to the workshop today, because I've been tuning in with her work lately to help me through times of transition. So I've been moving lately, and moving from one home to another always shakes things up, and uprooting life can make you feel off kilter. And so an anchor for me is always to connect with my inner muse. And I do that in many ways, and I'm going to share some of those ways with you today. One of the ways is to use breath work. One of the ways is also to use movement. And one of the very significant ways that I know that many of you who love the Atlantic Center for the Arts can relate with is to connect with nature. Now, you can't see it on the camera right now, but I have a window here that is open to some trees. And as you know, Washington is the evergreen state. So luckily I have all these wonderful trees out my window here that I can connect with. And maybe you have a window nearby that you can gaze out, or you can even just imagine the nature that is all around you. Maybe you're even sitting outside on your porch doing this workshop. I love to draw from nature as inspiration for my creativity. I even love to do dances outside with the trees and mimic the shapes of the trees, get playful. That always inspires me and makes me feel more creative and energized in life. So I'm going to move away from the camera a little bit and come back and actually stand on my mat, and you're welcome to do the same if you'd like. We're just going to do a little bit of movement first. And I teach mindfulness and practice mindfulness practices, and mindfulness is just simply the art of being present where you are and bringing your focus and your attention to the here and now. So you might want to just kind of Look down at your feet, because your feet are here now, aren't they? Your body is here now. So here's my body now, here in this space. I want you to just connect with your body there, where you are in your space. And take a big, big breath in and sigh. Make a sound out your mouth. Sometimes when we feel stuck or disconnected, just take a minute and think about that. Maybe you feel that way lately, or maybe you felt that way in the past when you felt stuck or disconnected. Disconnected from what? Disconnected from life or from yourself even. Sometimes when we feel that way, one thing we can do is to simply notice our bodies and how we feel, literally, the tactile quality. Our clothes, the sensations, the softness or roughness of the fabric of our clothes that we're wearing. You know, the soles of the feet even, down on the ground. Sometimes it seems too simple to reconnect, but it's the simplicity of it that makes it so accessible, actually. So taking that breath and sighing is a way of clearing or releasing the stuckness that we feel sometimes, so that we can make space to reconnect with energy. When we feel sluggish or a loss of vitality, sometimes when we're in transition, that can happen, where we kind of feel like we don't know where we are. We're not there anymore, and we're not quite there yet either, but we're somewhere in the middle. But here's the thing about being somewhere in the middle. In the middle is where all the possibilities live. So we're going to tap in to the possibilities and listen in to the heart space today. So let's take that breath and use your hands and your arms to just feel like you're just letting go of some stuckness or heaviness maybe, or any doubt energy or fear or worry or wondering what's going to happen next. Just kind of drop it. And bring your palms together here at your heart center. And feel your feet down there. Stand tall. And begin to take some slow, deep breaths. I wanted us to start standing so that we can get some energizing feeling coming in here. So breathing in and out. Feeling the flow of your own breath and bringing your inner focus into your body. Feeling the breath move. Feeling the feet on the ground. Feeling your tension in your shoulders relax. Feeling your back strong and long. Breath going in, breath going out. And if you haven't moved or stretched today, take a big stretch. If you have a window, look out your window and connect with whatever's happening out there, the light, or maybe it's raining where you are, or any of the sounds that you hear. Listen to those sounds. Pay attention to what you're sensing with your senses, your sights, your sounds, your sensations in your body. The sound of your own breath. Just moving your arms a little bit, maybe swaying some, stretching some. Feeling your body open a little bit. And then shake. Kind of shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Shake your body. This is a great way to prepare yourself to draw or paint or write, is to move the body in just little subtle ways. And then I want you to place your hands on your heart center, your chest right here. Just like this, one hand over the other. And take a minute to close your eyes, and I want you to ask a question. Just a question, any question about your life right now that comes up. The first thing that comes to mind, I want you to imagine that you're bringing your focus into your heart, and inside your heart is the wise one inside of you, the compassionate, wise part of you that lives in your heart. And I want you to ask a question of this wise part of you that lives in your heart. And if you can't think of a question, if you haven't already thought of a question you want to ask, you can just ask something like, what is it that you want me to know right now? And then take a breath. And imagine that that wise part of you inside of your heart, which we can call the Muse, is giving you a message. About your question. Some form of answer. And then I want you to get your journal out and write down what just came to mind. So I'm going to sit down and get out my little pad of paper that I have over here and put my pillow on the floor because I need it for comfort. You might just sit in a chair if you want to. And take a minute or so to write down what that was like for you to connect with the inner wisdom, the muse within yourself, and what messages came for you. And any imagery that came to mind. Maybe even the qualities that you connect with as you look out your window or think about nature, and how nature connects with what is coming in for you from your inner muse. Just take a minute. Okay. If you need another little bit of time, go ahead and take that time to write anything else down that you need to. I love it. So you never know what might come through. All kinds of different fun messages, maybe expected or unexpected, might come. Might be about just being playful. Might be about being still. Might be about self-love. Who knows? We just allow it to come through with no expectations. So now I'd like you to, when you're done writing, go ahead and lie down on your mat or on a couch or on the floor or wherever you want to lie down for a moment. I'm going to keep the time here, and I'm just going to guide you through some relaxation And when we relax our bodies, our mind space and our creative space can open up. And we can go into that imaginal realm. We can open that channel of flow where the realms of possibilities are endless. And just let our minds rest, the everyday mind that is all concerned with the to-dos of the day, you know. It's just time for you right now to relax. So I'm going to stay sitting and guide you through a little relaxation. Give yourself permission right now to relax. Give yourself permission. Sometimes we think we're not allowed to relax. But rest is the most important thing to do throughout the day. Take those pauses. So once you get comfortable, take a deep breath in and then sigh. Just make that sound. Really feel the vibrations of your own voice as you sigh. Good. Releasing some tension. Feeling into your body wherever there is any tension. And imagine that on the next breath, you can send that breath down into those areas of tension and fill them up with breath. Create a big space in there. And exhale again. You might notice that your body starts to soften. That your face kind of drops some tension even. Maybe your jaw needs to release a little bit. Your forehead. Your belly. Your back. The legs and feet. Notice the sense of being there. The connection on the ground or the couch or wherever you're lying down, the feeling of the back of the body, or maybe you're lying on your side, or is it soft? Is it hard? What is it? Just be curious about wherever your body is touching the ground or the place where you're lying down. And take a few more deep breaths. You might notice that as you slow your breath down, your mind starts to relax a little bit. And you feel the rise and fall of your breath in the belly and the chest. Let your belly breathe. Let your chest breathe. Let your back breathe. Something else I love to do to help to calm my mind is to tell my body to calm by simply saying the word to my body, calm. It's as if the word travels through your body when you say it in your mind. You could even say it out loud. Calm. And take another breath. Or you could use the word relax. Relax. And say the word to your body as a gentle command to your body. Relax. Imagine that your skin softens even. That barrier between your body and the rest of the space around you. Imagine that that barrier starts to become permeable, that your breath can flow through your skin even into the space outside the body and inside the body, that the breath can move through, that your body becomes light, lighter. Even light as a feather or a bubble or a cloud. And that your whole body now is filled with light, like a color or a sun or a twinkle or shine or radiance of some kind. It's interesting that that word light means different things, doesn't it? The lightness inside. And as you're doing this, I want you to bring your mental focus back down into that space inside your chest. Where the inner muse is speaking to you. Bringing in that deeper connection. And considering what is it that you can do in your life right now that demonstrates a move toward greater creative well-being. What is an activity or an action that you can take in your life today, tomorrow? Something simple that is in service to your creative well-being. And then take a breath and notice all your body parts, your whole body as a whole being, and then also full of all these different systems and how all the systems in your body and your cells and all these aspects of your body, they all work together synergistically, continually, and how amazing that is. Just consider that for a moment. How amazing it is that your body knows how to take care of itself, to heal itself. That it's this incredible, miraculous thing that your body knows what to do. And that your mind and your consciousness and your energy and your heart are all part of that too. And how amazing that is. Just allow yourself to be inspired by that for a moment. And ask as if you can sit in a room with your inner muse. Ask your inner muse to show you something else even, maybe. Give you another moment of inspiration or surprise or information. And then a really important part of putting it into action, whatever it is in life, any creative endeavor, is to be in gratitude. So imagine that you and your muse are there together. You're having this connection and you're receiving some beautiful insights or just maybe just energy that your muse is giving you, and that you say thank you. Very important part is to say thank you. So whenever you're in nature or whenever you're inspired at any time and you're receiving inspiration, it's so important to say thank you. So I always like to do it 3 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And when we do that, it's an act of receiving. It's like someone's giving you a gift. And you say, thank you. And you take it. You take that gift and you bring it in, you receive it, and you use the gift. You don't just let it sit over there and not do anything with it, but you actually take that gift and you unwrap the gift. You look inside and you receive it and say thank you. And then it's part of you. Then you're aware that it's part of you. Even if you don't understand what it's about in the beginning, you just say thank you. And trust and know that it'll start to connect up and make sense synchronistically at some point. Life works that way, doesn't it? Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so another big breath here. We're going to start to move and stretch again. You're lying down, you're relaxed. Maybe you're sitting again, whatever you're doing. Just take a few breaths and stretch and make a little sound. Maybe move your neck around in circles. Move your shoulders. Take those breaths. Shake your body again. I'm going to stretch my legs a little bit, rub my legs. A little self-massage is always nice. Self-care, so good for us. And then get your journal out one more time here. And I want you to write down whatever just came through for you and what that experience was like for you. Take some time. Take some time to reflect on what you received and write. Okay. We're going to switch gears now and get out the art supplies. But you can keep writing if you'd like to. Maybe get a little water. It's always good to drink some water. Especially when you've been moving your body. I'm going to get my watercolor paper out now and some paints. I'm just going to bring them right onto my mat. Of course, you might be set up some in a different way somehow. Maybe you're using different kinds of paint, or maybe you're not using paint. Maybe you like to draw or construct an image in another way. But I'm going to use some paints and some pencils and get out a fresh sheet of paper. Maybe you're using a canvas. That's fine too. Now, you might have a strong urge to make an image that came through for you, or put a message down and create some imagery around it. Or you might say, well, let's just close our eyes and connect with the Muse and see what comes through right here, right now. So take your pick. You might want to go ahead and create whatever came through for you. Maybe gaze on your words and see if any imagery comes while you're reading it. Ah, something is coming for me. So now I'll start. And get some images going here. Might be a combination of different things that wants to be put down on your canvas or paper of everything that you've just been experiencing here. It might be about what happened for you that your muse is showing you to enhance your creative well-being or reconnect with nature or be more playful or whatever it is that's helping you through your transitions. Messages that are reminders for you. As you're approaching your imagery or words, just let go of the need to be too attached to the outcome of what it's going to look like. I had a little towel here somewhere for my watercolor. Let's see. It's okay. Improvise. When we stay open to the moment, fresh ideas come. The trick is to stay connected in that heart space, feeling tone of being inner muse, almost as if they're directing the show and you're just the instrument, if you will, right? Trusting the story to unfold before your eyes as your hands move on the canvas or the page. Just enjoy the process. Being with the materials, the colors, the shapes as you make them. Let it be a relaxing experience. No need to force anything to happen. It's like a dance. Go slow. Stay open to surprises. Turning any seeming mistakes into part of the dance. It's something I had to learn to do. I'm still working on it in life, of course, because sometimes we think we want life to look a certain way, but then other things happen. Those detours we're talking about takes us into another transition, maybe one we hadn't planned on. But art and dance and creativity in general has great wisdom for us that reminds us that it's all part of the dance. Even the things that we did not plan on. Right? How we respond to it. Those are the ways that life can bring us more gifts. And we try our best to respond with a little more openness. A little more trust. And then we can find out what messages are there for us. Maybe even just the process of sitting down and letting the imagery flow, even in and of itself, is just a healing experience, hopefully. Nurturing experience. Relaxing experience. Maybe help support you in your daily life and relationships, because it helps to regulate your nervous system and calm the mind. How's it going for you? outside my window, I can hear some squirrels and birds. So it's kind of inspiring me to do another kind of shape. Just nice to take some time out, right? Just take an hour to think a new way, do something different. Connect with your muse. Some say, in fact, that connection is the most important relationship you'll ever really have in life. You know? 'Cause in the end, that's what we really have, is a connection with ourselves. That's the thing that we can keep coming back to. And when we build that connection strong, life can be just a little bit simpler and less complicated. Just see what happens. See what wants to come through in the moment. Just let it show you. You might be surprised. Maybe the design you started out with shifts and changes to something else as you go. Now. This is what we mean when we say expressive art or process art. It's art that's in the moment. It's not premeditated per se. Not just conveys the emotion. Gives you permission to play that out. This paintbrush keeps coming apart, but that's okay. Put it back together. That makes me think of life. Sometimes we fall apart, don't we? Sometimes life falls apart, we think. But then we get to figure out how to create something new, how to either put it back together or put it together. Going back, after all. Only forward. Well, part of my paintbrush just went in my water, so there you go. Get a new one. Only forward, folks. You gotta laugh. Keep flowing. Keep. If you need to take breaks, take breaks. Take some stretches. Take some breaths. Take another little relaxation if you need to, and come back to it. Maybe go for a walk and come back to it. Anytime you have that feeling of like you're pushing too hard, or you're trying to force it, or it's just not working, just take a break. Come back to it. Let the muse work it out for you inside. Let go of the need to try to figure it all out. And then come back. Restart. Refresh. Recalibrate. See what the new moment wants to do. Just enjoy the process. Even if you're not enjoying the process sometimes. Life, we don't always enjoy it. But we do know how to pause and take those breaths and reconnect. In fact, that's what I'm going to do for a moment. I'm going to take a little pause and stretch. Another thing I like to do in these moments is to listen to some music, too. So you may come back to this video and watch it again and make something new. Maybe play a little music in the background while you're watching. Maybe you're already doing that right now. Music is such a great way to ignite that creative process, too, isn't it? Yeah. Listen to the sounds that you hear. Listen to the sounds of your own breath again. Remember, when we feel stuck mentally, we get into the body and move the energy, move the stuckness in the body. Because after all, mind and the body are one and the same. It's true. Your body is your mind. The mind is the body. When we think too much and we try to solve something with our thoughts and it's not working, stop, get into the body, and see what's one small, simple action you can take rather than trying to solve the whole problem. That's the thing about transitions, the in-between space. We can't see the other side yet. So we might as well find out what's here in this moment. That's the gift of that transition, the in-between space. Without the pauses, well, there just simply wouldn't be life. The process of living is not always doing, is it? Sometimes it's just about being. If you think about a beautiful symphony, a beautiful song, those pauses in between the notes, those moments of hesitation in the orchestra where you hear all the sound and then it pauses and then it begins again. If you've ever seen a dance, they're moving but then they stop before beginning again. Those moments of stopping, of pausing, and then beginning again are so important, aren't they? So important. That's how we recharge. Is just stop, just pause. And then you can come back in with a nice, fresh energy, ready to go again. So when you're in transition, you feel frustrated, switch it up. Switch it up and think, oh, I see. This is actually a gift. This is a gift and time for me to rest and pause before momentum gets going again. It's like the change of seasons we're going in now. End of summer, moving into autumn soon. I know many of you in the hotter states are saying, well, it's going to feel like summer for a long time for us. There's the rhythm of life that's shifting, isn't it? The rhythm of life shifts, and we need to pause so that we can readjust to that new rhythm and find our steps, find our foot again. So we don't fumble all around our footsteps. There's that dance metaphor again, huh? Yeah. So I think we're nearing the end of this hour here. Of course, I haven't finished anything. This isn't done. But we're onto something here, and I like the way it feels. So let's just take a couple more minutes to create together. Of course, after this, you can just keep going as long as you possibly would like to. I might do the same. Just stay with it and keep working on it. Keep playing with it. See what's through here. I'll show you what we got here in just a minute. Take another 30 seconds here, and then I'll show you what's coming through the Muse for me today. What message wanted to show up in my world? I love sharing these things with each other. I love to see what you've created too. You're welcome to share with me. And you're always welcome to reach out and connect with me through my website, which is rachelchase.com. See what I'm up to these days in the world of healing and well-being, creativity. I know the Atlantic Center for the Arts has so many wonderful programs, and I know I'm going to be continuing to offer some more online workshops and be on their YouTube channel, so you might want to check out the Atlantic Center for the Arts YouTube channel for awesome inspirations. All right, well, here's what I've got so far. Some nice relaxing colors. Of course, I didn't quite finish it. It just says, let the mom. That's kind of fun. My mom will like that. Let the moment be. You can't quite see it because it's in pencil, but I'm going to finish filling that in probably, and then add some more color to the background and some other little patterns, just like these leaves out my window. Let the moment be. I think that's a great message for times of transition. The in-between, right? And any time, really. I mean, all throughout our day, we're always moving through transitions, aren't we? And one of the things that I love to suggest to my students and clients is throughout your day, think of this. Everything you do in the day is a rhythm. So take time to think of it like I'm taking an action, I'm doing, and then I'm going to intentionally pause before doing the next thing. So I can reset my energy, reset my mind, be available to creatively engage in the next moment. Even if it's just taking a shower, making breakfast, getting ready for work, or, having a conversation with someone, or working on a project. Doing and then being. Finding that rhythm is just one of the greatest things we can possibly do for our well-being. So I invite you to do and then be. Do, be. Do, be, do, be, do, be, do. So that's how I like to remember it. Do, be, do. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for this Arts and Wellness workshop. I am so grateful to share these practices and processes with you, and I will see you again next time. Peace and blessings to you all, and ciao for now. Bye-bye.